The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,246,821. The confirmed number of deaths comes to 24,421. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 7,484, with total confirmed deaths at 219. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's Wednesday, June 16th. We're one day into the state's grand reopening. The Dodgers celebrated with a sellout crowd of maskless fans last night, beating the Philadelphia Phillies 5-3. LA County is now in a much better place than any other metro area of similar size in the entire nation when it comes to COVID-19 cases. The county's public health officials say, on average, we're now seeing just 1.5 cases per 100,000 people. Compare that to 2.8 cases in New York City, 3.5 cases in Atlanta, and 9.1 cases in Miami. New York, by the way, celebrated its reopening this week as well with fireworks and cheering crowds. 70% of New Yorkers 18 and over have now gotten their first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Back here in LA County, that percentage is a bit lower. As of June 11th, 66% of Angelenos have gotten one dose of the vaccine and 56% were fully vaccinated. Public health officials say so far, workplaces throughout the county remain under current Cal OSHA standards, which continue to require distancing and masking for all employees. Its standards board may vote to make some modifications tomorrow. And just a reminder, masks are still required regardless of vaccination status at a variety of settings, including public transit, schools, and healthcare facilities. And while the reopenings bring lots of hope to many Americans, the U.S. just hit another grim milestone: more than 600,000 COVID-related deaths, more than any other country. It's a sober reminder to continue doing our part to stop the spread. For details on LA County's reopening, you can log on to publichealth.lacounty.gov. Californians may have to cut back on electricity use this week if the heat wave gets worse. The California Independent System Operator is a nonprofit that runs the state's power grid. They say there should be enough electricity to meet demands and avoid outages, but unexpected circumstances could occur, such as wildfires that burn transmission lines or mechanical failures at power plants. If that becomes a reality, we could experience the first flex alert of the year. Should that happen, people will be asked to voluntarily cut electricity use from 4 to 9 p.m. today and tomorrow, set their thermostats to 78 degrees or higher, avoid using major appliances, and turn off unnecessary lights. Triple-digit temperatures are expected across the state all week, including some record-breaking heat in Southern California. The National Weather Service Los Angeles reported 107 degrees in Palmdale, breaking the record of 105 set in 1966. The Weather Service says today will be one of the hottest days of the week, so limit outdoor activities, drink lots of water, wear light and breathable clothes, and don't leave children or pets behind in hot vehicles. The Delta variant is becoming a bigger threat to Americans as it rapidly spreads throughout the U.S. First reported in India, it now accounts for 10% of all coronavirus cases in the nation. The Delta variant already makes up more than 90% of COVID cases in the United Kingdom. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention calls this a variant of concern, and medical experts worry it could become the dominant strain in our country. Doctors say this variant appears to be significantly more transmissible than the Alpha or the UK variants. They also say the main symptoms look a bit different. Headaches, runny nose, and sore throat are commonly reported. While more research needs to be conducted, experts say some data indicates that the Delta variant may be more dangerous than others and even cause more severe illnesses. But on a positive note, getting vaccinated can help you stay protected. A recent study by Public Health England found that 2 doses of a coronavirus vaccine, in particular Pfizer, is highly effective, 96%, against hospitalization caused by the Delta variant. New research shows that 3 COVID vaccine doses may protect those who have had organ transplants. A small study of 30 transplant patients showed some promising signs. Researchers from Johns Hopkins University say while 24 of them appeared to have no protection after the routine 2 doses of vaccinations, 8 of them developed virus-fighting antibodies after an extra shot, and 6 others who had only minimal antibodies got a big boost from the 3rd dose. A transplant surgeon at Johns Hopkins says this is very encouraging news and provides hope for many patients. Millions of people who take immunosuppressants because of transplants, cancer, or other disorders have been unsure of how to protect themselves against COVID-19. Such drugs prevent rejection of transplant patients' new organs, but leave them extremely vulnerable to the coronavirus. Researchers hope to begin a more rigorous test of a 3rd vaccine dose this summer, along with the National Institutes of Health. 200 transplant recipients are expected to participate. A Twitter account dedicated to those who lost their lives to COVID-19 is gaining a lot of popularity and support. Alex Goldstein started Faces of COVID in March of 2020 to help him make sense of grief and to honor some of the more than 600,000 people who have died in the U.S. He pinned this tweet from last Christmas, writing that, "As a nation, we have not begun to process what it means to have our family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers disappear from our lives day after day." The Boston resident read news stories and personal memories people shared from around the world, then posted a simple tweet about each person, summing up what he learned and including something unique about them. For example, Sally Lara, a phlebotomist at Riverside Community Hospital, died last June. She continued to do her job despite raising alarms about the lack of personal protective equipment at the facility, and she left behind 3 children. 54-year-old Catherine Justice of Ohio died from COVID on March 24, 2020. She loved her grandchildren and died 1 year prior to her brother Ronnie. And Ming Wang of Nebraska passed away last June. His child wrote, "My dad was the most generous person with the biggest heart. I miss his gentle smile and contagious laugh." Dozens of comments and sometimes thousands of retweets accompany each post and help families to heal during this difficult time. Today, Faces of COVID has more than 5,000 obituaries and 149,000 followers. Blood donations are drying up and the American Red Cross needs your help. They shared this week that there is a severe nationwide shortage as the number of elective surgeries, organ transplants, and trauma cases go up. Now, Amazon is teaming up with the nonprofit to offer a sweet deal. Donate your blood, any type, by June 30th and get a $5 Amazon gift card. Earlier this week, we shared that the city of Torrance and the American Red Cross are teaming up on July 14th to help boost their summer supply of blood. There is an incentive then, too, a chance to win gas for a year, a $5,000 value. 3 winners will be selected that day. You must sign up ahead of time to donate. Go to redcrossblood.org and enter the sponsor code City of Torrance. All blood donors are tested for COVID-19 antibodies as well. To learn more about Amazon offers, you can go to redcrossblood.org/together. Royal Caribbean halted its inaugural sailing of a cruise ship after 8 people on board tested positive for COVID-19. CEO Michael Bailey shared this Facebook post on Tuesday, saying they'll postpone the Odyssey of the Seas journey to July 31st. They were originally supposed to set sail on July 3rd. A simulation cruise, which was set for late June, will also be rescheduled. Bailey wrote that during a routine testing, 8 crew members received positive test results for COVID-19. They were fully vaccinated, as were the rest of the 1,400 employees who were on board the cruise ship. 6 of the 8 who tested positive were asymptomatic, and the remaining 2 had mild symptoms. They were quarantined and closely monitored by the company's medical team. Bailey says while disappointing, delaying this trip is the right decision for the health and well-being of their crew and guests. This news comes as major cruise lines are finally starting to set sail again for the first time since the coronavirus stopped them. Even before the pandemic hit, a survey by the Office for National Statistics in the United Kingdom has shown that 1 in 10 kids ages 10 to 15 feel prolonged periods of loneliness. During COVID-19, other studies shed light on the fact that many children around the world are experiencing anxiety and depression. The Pediatric Association says as kids endured more than a year of distance learning and isolation, there could be long-term effects of how they develop. Well, with almost 30,000 students in the Torrance Unified School District, it takes the work of not only the teachers and faculty to keep kids engaged, but also parents like the one you're about to meet. In today's Wellness Wednesday, we bring you a story about one mom who understood that need to do more than what the world was currently offering and did something about it, not only addressing the mental health of her kids during the pandemic, but also bringing some sparkle back into their daily routine. Meet Erica Jerez, a Torrance mom who has volunteered countless hours to make education as fun as possible for her triplets and their classmates during COVID-19. Erica is the mother of 3 fifth-grade boys who just graduated last week from Victor Elementary School. She's also an attorney with the LA County District Attorney's Office and facilitates a special program through the office called Project LEAD, which stands for Legal Enrichment and Decision Making. The 20-week course gave students an opportunity to see each other more often and learn together in creative ways, such as going on a virtual field trip to the Museum of Tolerance, having distinguished guests drop by their Zoom sessions, and holding a virtual mock trial. Erica says facilitating this program helped her to better understand her kids and appreciate their willingness to learn despite the unique circumstances brought on by the pandemic.
They're so resilient, you know? I mean, I don't know what it would have been like to be a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old growing up in a pandemic. I just can't even imagine not being able to go outside all the time, not to play on playground equipment, not to be able to see my friends every day. I mean, going to school is largely academic, but it's also a very social experience, and these kids have missed out on some of those social connections this year. So I feel like this program put some tools in their pockets, but some of the answers they gave me to questions, I mean, these kids are inspiring in how they've adapted, adjusted, and even grown during this pandemic. And I think in many ways, some of these kids got to shine in ways they wouldn't otherwise.
Erica says Project LEAD is gaining a lot of popularity. It's been adopted in other countries, including Quebec, Canada, where it's been translated into French. Her colleague also created a version for hard of hearing students. You can see my full story on upcoming episodes of Weekends in Torrance. The Torrance City Council met last night to discuss city business. Mayor Patrick Fury started the meeting by saying how proud he was of the community's response to COVID-19.
As of today, 95.1% of Torrance residents over the age of 65 have been vaccinated. 73.7% of everybody in Torrance over the age of 16 has been vaccinated.
We continue to hope that we have seen the worst of this pandemic and that through continued vaccination efforts, we may be nearing the end of this most difficult time.
The council also reviewed and acted on a number of agenda items, including authorizing change orders to furnish paramedic medical and pharmaceutical supplies for the Torrance Fire Department and adopting a resolution to identify a residential pavement improvement program and appropriate additional funds to it. Mayor Fury also announced that at next week's City Council meeting, staff plans to present a plan to address the issue of homelessness. He encouraged the public to participate before the meeting by emailing council meeting public comment at torranceca.gov by 2 p.m. next Tuesday, June 22nd. Make sure to write public comment in the subject line. You can watch full reruns of the council meeting on our channel, online, and on the city's Facebook and YouTube pages. The city is gearing up to welcome back visitors and hopefully boost one industry that took a major hit during the pandemic. The newest California Welcome Center in Torrance will officially open tomorrow with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Del Amo Fashion Center. The event kicks off Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Torrance Mayor Patrick Fury, along with other local dignitaries, will be there to speak about what this means for the city of Torrance. This event is in partnership with not only the city, but Discover Torrance and the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. There will be a reception with giveaways, treats, and much more. Now, if you haven't stopped by the Welcome Center yet, you'll find information on must-visit places, discover insider tips, plan a trip, and get free or discounted tickets. Plus, the friendly staff will help you with customizing activity planning, or you can use the interactive touchscreen kiosks to create your own itinerary. Visitors can also purchase some SoCal branded swag. Torrance is the 18th California Welcome Center to open in the state and the second to open in Los Angeles County. It's located in the mall's main level near Entrance 1. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. June marks the first time that the Madrona Marsh Preserve and Nature Center has held an in-person Friday Fun Day in over a year. They shared these pictures saying it was a huge success thanks to their dedicated volunteers. The Marsh especially thanked Miss Cindy, Miss Carol, Miss Jessica, and Miss Susan for their help during a very busy day. All reservations were filled with excited 3 to 6-year-olds and their parents. If you're interested in visiting Madrona Marsh, current hours are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday to Friday and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo, or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Bella Shaw brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.